This video is brought to you by the Intel Core i5-4670K unlocked processor. Add an Intel 520 series SSD to your Haswell system for unbelievable overall performance. Welcome to a dual unboxing of a couple of different products. I've got the ModMat Mainboard and the ModMat Xtreme, which are both from ModRite. These are PC building gears, so to speak, and what they are designed to be is a static, safe workstation covering that is portable, is scratch resistant, so it's not going to damage, your side panel window or high gloss finish on your graphics card or anything like that, as well as provide you with some useful information that you might need to reference while you're in the building process. Inside the box, you find not only the ModMat, so there's the ModMat Mainboard, and here's the ModMat Xtreme, but also an anti-static wrist strap and an anti-static alligator clip. So let's get the unwrapping process documented here. It comes with a plastic overlayer with a paper underlayer, and then finally, there we have it. The ModMat itself. So this is the motherboard version, or mainboard version, which is smaller, but still has many of the same advantages. That is to say that it's anti-static, so check this out. So the idea is you take this and you ground out your ModMat to something, such as a plugged in but not powered on power supply, or something in a ground outlet in your wall, or whatever else the case may be. That makes sure that this is completely anti-static. And then now that we've got it spread out, we can see where those two pieces clip onto. So you can tie your anti-static wrist strap here, and then you can ground out the ModMat itself by using the alligator clip to plug into, whether it's a ground outlet on your wall outlet, or something like a plugged in but not powered on power supply, or whatever else the case may be. Here, this is cool, so check this out. I've got a motherboard handy, which is why I have a motherboard here. So this right here is to show you what size your motherboard is if you weren't sure. So ATX is going to be presumably, presumably it goes here. Yes. So that is an ATX board. So you can see that an eATX board would go all the way to here. An HPTX board, so things like the SRX from EVGA, would go all the way to here. So if you were ever not quite sure, you'd be able to quickly check and reference what size your board is. So there's another convenient measurement here that tells you pretty much the same thing. If you have any confusion about the ports on your motherboard, you can also check this handy dandy reference chart here, which tells you pretty much what all of this stuff is. So there you go, that matches up to that. So the mainboard one isn't the one that has sort of the more advanced features and charts and graphs. That is saved for the Xtreme model. Now we have the ModMat Xtreme spread out in front of us, and you can see that there's an awful lot of room to work. You can have a motherboard here, your case here, all your random accessories spread out, and it has a lot of way super more useful stuff on it. So for example, you can quickly and easily find out what size a radiator is and check the spacing. So there I can see, okay, there you go. That is a dual 120 millimeter radiator, and then you've got your 140s on the side. It measures everything up to a quad rad. Very cool stuff. You can quickly and easily, so some of this stuff won't be useful to someone like me. I know how big a radiator is just looking at it. So you've got other things that, again, wouldn't be that useful to me because I know how big a 3.5-inch hard drive is versus a 2.5-inch hard drive. So you can see, it makes for just cool schematics on it, if nothing else. But this is a cool one. Being able to quickly reference how big a fan is. So there you go. You've got marks on here that show you this is a 140 millimeter. If you line it up there and it lines up with all the other ones, you got a 140 mil fan on your hands. If it lines up here and goes to all these other ones, you got a 120 mil fan on your hands. Not everyone can identify fans just looking at them without another one for reference. So that's really nice to have. Next up, we've got tubing sizes. So this allows you to take a piece of tubing and basically go, there, that's 5/8 inch. OD, that is 3/8 inch ID, which means that it There, that one, see? I had it on the wrong one and you could tell it wasn't quite lining up. So you can see from how big the hole is and how thick the wall is, that is what size that is. You can make sure it's compatible with your compressions, and you can see they've got a little chart here for that as well. Now this is the one that I really like. This is the kind of thing that I would actually have to reference on an ongoing basis, and that is wiring diagrams. If you do any cable sleeving or anything like that, these could save your life because they tell you exactly what the voltages are of all the pins. They give you all the color coding, and so if you do any custom wiring on your own, that could actually be maybe not a lifesaver, but definitely a component saver because you might not break something that you otherwise would have broken. For your reference, they also show you all the latest sockets from Intel and AMD in little diagrams so you can make sure you don't screw up anything on that side. So you can see quite clearly that this one right here is dun, 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 LGA 1155 or 1156. Actually, it's LGA 1150, but they had no way of knowing that when they manufactured this thing, in all likelihood. So it's a grippy, anti-static workplace, has some cool little references, looks really good, and the Xtreme has more mounting points for your anti-static wrist strap as well as your grounding strap. So there's one over here on the far right, and then there's one over here up by the top. Thank you for checking out my unboxing and first look at the ModMat Mainboard and the ModMat Xtreme. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.